All right, we are go. We are go. Hi guys. Fuck. I just brain farted. I totally just brain farted. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to the Trident TV live stream. I wanted to get everybody together for another chat. I wanted to add a couple of my friends. So as you can see, we got John Wyatt from the last one. We also have Lord Boaz, also known as Deadpool's ass. He's right there. So there's that. And
that was my cue.
Here is that was your cue. Then the guy with the hippogriff here, who I think is outside having a cigarette right now because he's just that cool.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh no. Okay, you're there. You're there. Okay. And then we've got our resident fucking. And then we've got our resident fucking hipster, Triple T.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Hey, Trip. I love the shades.
What's going on?
It's nice. The shades are perfect.
Thank you. What is going on?
Your microphone kind of cuts in and out just a little bit.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I'm hearing my voice come back in. Holy.
I thought we worked all this out.
Apparently not.
Sorry, guys. We're having difficulties here.
Technically. Mentally.
And physically.
Physically.
Are you hearing my voice come back at me, guys?
No, you're clear.
Yeah, you sound good on my end.
Okay, because I can hear my voice coming back at me.
You're always going to hear yourself with your headphones.
No, I mean like from 2 minutes ago. I just introduced you as the hipster and what I'm hearing. This sucks.
Do you have the Izimo? Right. Izimo says hi.
So I'm having some technical difficulties, so I just give me a second here, guys. I got to turn this webcam off. I think that's what's doing it to me.
All right, we're down for the count. Izimo is in chat. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Izimo Mono.
Could it possibly be Asimo?
That's him. Yes. He says strong Deadpool.
I would like to get some silence. I'd like to get some silence, guys. Okay. Okay. So you guys aren't talking anymore. All right. Sorry for the five viewers that we have right now. That we are having a little bit of technical. At least I am. So you guys should talk amongst yourselves while I get my end sorted out here.
So
Talk amongst ourselves. That's exactly what I do all day. It's great.
So Deadpool, what's it like to be with us today?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that, and I know what I'm going to say. I already talked to the writer, but suffice to say, you fall down an elevator shaft.
Okay, I figured out what the problem was. You know what? This is awesome. You guys are gonna love this. I am a moron.
Well, we already know that.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah. Well, I actually had the YouTube page playing in the background.
Yes, I asked you if you had it up and ready.
I had it going, and that's where the voice was coming from. And I'm like, why am I hearing myself from a minute ago? So I apologize for that, you guys. Okay. Anyways, until that happened. We do have, a special guest, Deadpool, who has kidnapped Lord Boaz, just apparently, and I don't know what's going on there. And where I was before I got interrupted is we have Ro, who is playing Destiny right now. Are you there right now, Ro?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually taking a break. Starting the raid.
You're taking a break?
A couple minutes, yeah.
Oh, okay, but you're starting to raid in a couple minutes, okay. And then we got my good friend Triple T here with the horn rim hipster glasses. Looks like he'd get along right well with these characters that we're talking about, you know.
And now he's a brick.
Yeah,
He's a brick
now
wall.
he's a brick wall.
He won't listen to
Yeah.
a thing we have to say.
No, probably not.
Phase in and out.
Yeah. Apparently. Anyway, so it has been a big week in terms of one of the things we wanted to discuss today, which is GamerGate. And you know, there's a lot of people I find that are coming off from sitting on the fence on this and coming over to like actually listen to what a lot of the GamerGate crowd has to say. Right, and it's starting to get a lot more attention, but at the same time, it's also getting a lot more wider attention on the other end of the spectrum, which is, you know, painting the idea that we're all misogynists. However, like Jenny Barrage and Georgina Young and oh my God, I can't believe Gemma something, I forget her last name, but they appeared on Huffington Post Live on Tuesday, I believe, and basically just shredded the whole misogynist bit to bits, right? And that was I think that was a big moment, because then all of a sudden, you know, all these other news organizations started jumping on the bandwagon, and some of them were actually like, okay, well, what does GamerGate have to say about it, right? And it's starting to help a lot more getting what's actually going on out there. I'm one of those types that's hesitant to call it the truth, because, you know, truth, I find, is not as absolute as a lot of people like to believe. You know, people will see things different ways always, right? Doesn't mean that there isn't an absolute truth. It's just that, how do you fault somebody for how they see it?
Well, I mean, there's, what, 7 billion people on the Earth? Not everyone's going to think the same.
Exactly, right? And so, like, my own personal opinion is on this is because I'm seeing this kind of thing where they're trying to paint, instead of having it as a misogynist movement, having it a movement that allows for anti-feminists, right? And like, my own personal opinion on feminism is that there are good feminists out there. I absolutely believe it. There are totally, like, look at Christina Hoff Sommers is a perfect example of a good feminist who gets it. And ever since GamerGate started, I've seen a lot more.
Well,
Right?
I mean, the whole idea of feminism is to actually have equality across the board. So, I mean, there is going to be more feminists who actually are like, we just want fairness and everything. But then we have the extremists that we're trying to deal with, is what's going on right now.
Well, it's not that we're trying to deal with. It's that we, like, in my opinion at least, I'd like to just, like, let them speak, let them talk, right? But let's let everybody see exactly what they're saying, because there's things that they say in their own circles, and then there's things that they say in relation to the public. You know, and there's actually, it was a paper I read just recently called, where the author was talking about postmodernist kind of argument styles, right? And he coined something called the Mott and Bailey doctrine, in which the Mott and the Bailey were two different parts of old-style castle building, where, you know, the moat, for instance, and the tower were two different parts, you know, and the argument style that they're tending to use is just like, oh, well, you know, like, suck them in somehow and be like, oh, you know, men are evil, men are evil, men are evil, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, when people start coming in and saying, hey, well, what the fuck, and then retreat into their tower and be like, no, you're being misogynist, I'm a woman, shit like that, you know what I mean? And that's a really bad example, and, you know, I just want to be clear about the whole bad example aspect of it.
I'm just going to break you in here for half a second. Izomo, I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry, man. Just chatted. There are more extreme feminists than moderate feminists.
Well, here's the thing. I actually chat with Izomo a lot on Twitter and whatnot. And he and I do see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, right? However, I am of the opinion, because, like, the feminists that I've seen on the internet scare me a lot. The feminists that I have met in person don't at all. They're actually really fair-minded. They do respect, and you know what? Maybe it's just the region that I live in, maybe it's that, right? But the feminists that I've met in real life through acquaintances and through friends and stuff like that, I've had this discussion with them, right? And the vast majority of them are like, no, well, that's not what I believe. I believe this, right? And I understand there's like the no true Scotsman's fallacy and all that kind of stuff, but like I can't see groups. I can see individuals. And it's always been like that with me. I can't judge a member of a group just because he's a part of a group. I have to judge the individual based on their content of their character. It's always been like that with me. So, sorry, well, that might, and you know what? But you know what? Someone might be right. There might be more extremist feminists than moderates, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't. We should also condemn the moderates. It's the same argument with GamerGate. There's a bunch of crazy people in GamerGate. There are, I wouldn't say a bunch. There's like a few, right? But we can't judge the whole movement based on that.
Well, it's just like every type of group is going to have your extremists, and in your normal group or your moderate, every group is going to have that you can't stop them.
Absolutely.
There's always going to be somebody who's a part of some group who takes things too far. You find this in every single group. There's always going to be an extreme, just like you said. But like was said before, there seems to be, especially online, a lot of people who declare themselves to be feminists who basically hate men. I've seen this just the other day in a channel that was about circumcision. I get their position, but I have never ever in my life walked into a room online, walked into a room and been met with nothing but aggravation and aggression for doing nothing more than asking questions. Why do you think what you think? Why do you believe what you believe? And they take that as some sort of attack. As soon as I start questioning why they think what they think, all of a sudden now I'm instantly typecast as a man who hates women.
Oh, and you see this example a lot on, especially on like a lot of internet spaces, because I think what it is the most extreme tend to gather in the same places. There's some internet some Reddit subreddits where if you go in and you just ask for like clarification, but you come from it from a male perspective, they'll ban you. They're just like, no, you're not allowed here. And I've seen it happen. There's like numerous examples after example after example after example of this happening. However, what I find is that there's equity feminism. That's the Christina Hoff Sommers aspect of feminism, and I respect that woman a lot. I respect even the feminists that are speaking out on behalf of GamerGate and saying like, no, that's unfair. These guys are not, I may not agree with them on all points, but the fact of the matter is they're not my enemy in any way.
You have another fan on the chat there, Deadpool. Black Lotus 30. He says, look, a Deadpool.
That's my man. What's up?
But
you'll be getting some black sand in the mail when you do watch
it. Ismo says, I've been banned from Reddit feminism.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it, absolutely. There are, and honestly, trust me, in some cases it's better. I once went into a debate subreddit. This is back when I was using my old account, but I went into a debate subreddit that was the radical, like extreme radical feminists were willing to debate people who were like egalitarian or MRA and stuff like that. And I went in there, and I have never in my life experienced such fucking like insults after insult. Like I was sitting here trying as much as possible to be rational and logical about anything. I didn't go off. I was very calm. I was very like, oh, look at the logical, look at it logically. They started calling me Spock. Like.
Logic, yeah. We don't need that nonsense here.
What's that about? We don't need that.
My feels speak for myself.
I feel, therefore it is.
Yep.
Well, isn't it a philosophy quote where it's like, I think, therefore I am?
I think, therefore I atheist.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that was it. But yeah, like I don't think it's a matter of like there's definitely a feminist ideology that is spinning in the background, right? However, you know, I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with any type of feminist ideology that doesn't rely on the patriarchy to enforce their worldview, right? Because there's, as far as I'm concerned, there's no patriarchy. I didn't get a fucking patriarchy card. I have to work my ass off to get my paycheck. It wasn't just handed to me. You know what I mean? And hey, look, I'm a white male. To work my ass off to get to where I am, which honestly isn't that far up. You know?
But it's just I don't really know how to describe some of the things that they say. You just look at them, and especially on the internet, you just look at them and you're going, what thought pattern had got you this far?
Yeah. Well, here's the main thing. The internet, like especially places like Twitter, are horrible. Like, I do not recommend using Twitter to fucking debate anybody, to make a point. Twitter's good for spreading links around, for making a very for quoting a quote and for doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, you can organize and you can communicate and you can put ideas across, but debate, bad. If you want to have a debate, you need to be face to face, or at least camera to camera, right? That's like, you can't have an internet text-based debate and expect to like win over the other side. They need to be able to see your emotional state. They need to be able to see the look on your face, you know, the intonations in your voice. They have to see this stuff in order to understand that, like, holy shit, this person actually like firmly believes what they're talking about, you know. And they do tend to look at it from a slightly different perspective, you know.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to ask, Azimo, what has Jon Stewart been doing lately? I personally haven't seen what he's been doing. Anyways, continue.
I haven't watched television since 2001. Jon Stewart, he's like, did he take over the Jay Leno show, or was that Stephen Colbert?
No, he's the Daily Report thing. He's on Comedy Network.
He's a satirical news commentary thing, Jewish, and he's really, really, really funny.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. Yeah. See, I don't watch television, right? So
I don't watch much television either, but I still know who he is.
Yeah.
No. Black Lotus here is bringing up Gamer Fruit. Did you guys hear about Gamer Fruit?
Oh yeah, I saw those.
Oh, that was awesome, man. That was so cool. That was actually like one of those like heartwarming GamerGate moments, I think, you know. It's just like, aw, something nice happened to somebody because somebody else did something mean. Yeah, so what it was is, I guess, Brianna Wu, I think it was Brianna Wu, was trying to tweet at a video game conference, but accidentally tweeted at a European fruit vendor, or a fruit importer. Right?
Yeah.
And just dragged him into this whole Gamergate nonsense. I mean, he had no idea what was going on. He was like, why are there like so many people talking to me? What is happening? Right? And so a bunch of the Gamergate people started chatting with him, and he said, he's like, oh, I've always wanted to make a game. So I think, as far as I'm understanding right now, he had kind of got a group together to actually make a game that was all about like a mobile game that's kind of like growing fruit, and it's all for charity for some for helping third world fruit farmers. Right?
That is a really interesting way to spin a bit of controversy. I really like that.
Awesome.
I'd like to know what do you know what his app is called, or his game is called? I'd like to grow some fruit.
Well, no, it's actually happening. Like, it's actually Gamergate, I think, are the guys that are going to be building the game for this charity, just because it was just a cool idea. And like Gamer Fruit, the hashtag Gamer Fruit started trending for a bit. I think I even saw it, and then a bunch of people were taking pictures of like fruit with their video game systems. It was it was really cool. It was nice to see.
Jon Stewart debated Bill O'Reilly about white privilege.
I
would love to watch that.
Oh, it had to be Bill O'Reilly too. That guy couldn't debate his way out of a fucking paper bag.
That guy doesn't. At least he'd have a first-hand view on what white privilege actually is.
Yeah, it's true, exactly, right? The guy actually, it's not even white privilege, it's fucking rich privilege, man. Like, I don't think he can just paint it that, oh, it's just because you're white, you know? Like, no, fuck that. You know,
I'm
hey,
white,
you know,
but I'm not privileged. Everything I have, I had to work very hard, and I had to kill a lot of people for.
exactly.
Okay.
Right?
Painted Lotus says the guy who's making the game is also a gamer, and it's going to be to make a game fruit tycoon to help third world farmers.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, there's even a link for it. Okay, I am going to tweet.
Awesome.
I'm going to check this link out. I'm going to tweet out this link actually as soon as I check it out. Just real quick here.
Who here has not played my video game yet?
Oh, is it the Deadpool game that ran out of a couple years ago? That came out and then the license for it expired and they just were like whatever.
I don't know about all that. All I know is I've played it. If you've ever wondered what goes on inside my skull, you can play me. It's like you are me, but you're not.
It's actually quite fun. If people haven't actually gone out and bought it yet, they won't be able to get a chance because the license for it is expired. But if you have it, it's a lot of fun. It's one of those like.
If only there were some way that we could get around that licensing bullshit. Oh, I know! Technology! You can download this shit on kickass.to. Look for the Deadpool video game. I didn't even know all that stuff.
Hey.
Awesome.
Watch that. All right, Deadpool, watch that shit.
Okay.
I have to agree with painted Lotus, Black Lotus. Sorry, what am I thinking? Painted Black Lotus. I do agree that when people use the term white privilege, it's stupid.
Well, it's just it complete. Like, I'm not saying that like white people don't have it easy in some ways, because it's clear that they do. I've looked at the hate crime statistics and stuff like that, and they are unequivocally against black people, and it sucks. You know what I mean? I think that there's more going on than simply race. I think it has to do with a lot of economic stuff. So I think that has a lot more to do with it. But oh, here we go. I found the link here.
Race is definitely a thing, though. It is definitely a contributing factor.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
I
absolutely, it is. But
I watched this thing. These guys, they do some kind of pranking or something like that, and they go around and they basically fuck with the police. It's really, really funny. But if they were black, those guys would have been shot.
Yeah, for sure. So there's $1,325 raised so far on this Gamer Fruit Help the Hungry campaign. Right, and I'm just tweeting that out right now. For anybody who has yet to follow me, I am at Black Trident TV. I'm hearing drums or something. Who the hell is that? Trip, is that you?
Those aren't drums. That's me.
Oh, you're raiding now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. For those who just tuned in, he is playing Destiny. So.
Yeah, okay, sorry, it's gonna be like, that's actually Machine Gun. So, yeah.
How is that whole first-person shooter MMO thing for you?
It works really well, actually.
Black Lotus, I just wanted to address something here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm understanding. Correct me if I'm not understanding you correctly in here. When you say that term is not something that you hear in Canada, do you mean white privilege? Because I can point out a few regions that do talk about that sort of thing a lot. All right. Just recently, there was a situation where somebody close to me was kind of alienated from her friends because of she was like, well, no, you can be racist towards white people too, and the entire argument stemmed from a distinction between the definition of racism to me, which I believe is just racial discrimination against anybody. It's discrimination based on skin color, and whatchamacallit? I just brain farted again.
I think that racism can only be inflicted by white people and not on white people is absolutely just ignorant. Obviously.
Yeah, well,
as a white person, I have experienced racism against me for being white. I don't want to go into detail about it, and it's not fun. I totally get what people are. I understand to a point, as to what people are going through with that. But I mean, to think that not everybody in the world isn't subject to racism is just ignorant.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's because of this postmodernist influence of trying to redefine racism as being power plus privilege, right? And if you actually like Google this stuff, you find a bunch of places where people make the argument, but it just falls short. You know, if you're talking about institutionalized racism, well, yeah, I would agree that's power plus privilege, but it's not racism in general.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, definitely.
You know, and that's where a lot of it comes, right? And I do know that this is really prevalent in places like Ontario, or not, sorry, Ontario, like the Golden Horseshoe of Ontario, Toronto, Scarborough, those kind of areas, right? And you know, if you look at the University of Toronto protest at the when Warren Farrell, I almost said Will Ferrell, Warren Farrell went to go speak on an issue of male suicide, and then the place was just like assaulted by a very, very large, angry feminist group who was basically saying that, oh, this guy's an MRA, this guy's that, and he's just like, you know, like I've listened to him, he's very fair. He talks about like fucking a lot of like feminist ideology too, and like agrees with it. So I mean, like I don't understand why it takes that much vitriol because of something that he said in 1979 that was taken out of context.
Izzy says that one thing that destroys the white privilege thing is that white men make up 70% of the suicides in America.
I actually did not know that. That's interesting. Now that's just the U.S., right? That's not Canada.
No,
well,
I mean.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Okay. Now I know that there is a very strong disparity between suicide rates of men versus women. Women do not succeed in killing themselves nearly as often as men do, right?
Insert misogynistic joke.
I was about to say
they don't kill themselves.
You said insert.
Insert misogynistic joke here.
Yeah, I know. You still inserted something.
I said insert.
But yeah, so like the idea, like roughly getting it like down to the nitty gritty of it, is that there is, and I, you know, and this is where I agree with. There's a YouTuber named Sargon of Akkad, and he's been talking a lot about feminism inserting itself into academia, right? And he's been talking about this, and it's just like, it's not that I see an explicit issue with feminism being discussed in academia, but being taught is a different matter. What other kind of ideology out there is taught in schools, especially public schools?
Religion in states?
Yeah.
Christianity? Come on.
Exactly the point, right? Now, I have no problem if a girl wants to, you know, speak for women's rights and stuff like that. That's fine, but she needs to be able to understand that, like, it's a two-way street. You know, there are areas in which men are disadvantaged, and you know, and if they're going to focus on, well, it needs to be equal 50-50 on all the things that negatively affect them, well, then I'm sorry, but I'm going to demand that it's the other way around as well.
Izimo says Warren Farrell was a now president until he saw the wage gap.
Yeah, the National Organization of Women, right? Yeah, the way. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was back in the 1970s. The wage gap had been illegal for something like 25 years. 20, yeah, or maybe not 20 years, maybe 10 years, in the late 70s, 15 years. Because I think it was 1963 was the U.S. Equal Pay Act, right? And,
we're going to go with yes.
Yeah.
I can't tell you
for sure,
but yeah, I remember.
So I actually like Sargon of Akkad's videos because he's just like that right level of snarky that makes you chuckle. You know what I mean?
1963.
Yeah, U.S. Equal Pay Act, 1963 for sure. New Brunswick, religion isn't taught in school anymore. In public schools here in BC, I'm in BC right here. Actually, I think all of us here in BC. Specifically, we're all on Vancouver Island. That's kind of funny. I just realized that.
I'm just going to state that I'm actually from Stargust 5. I crash landed here.
Right. Anyways.
I think I found a Scientologist in the room.
All right.
To you, buddy.
Okay. Xenu's my homeboy. Yeah, see? Okay. So, religion really isn't taught in school out here except for private schools. There are private, like Catholic and Christian schools and even Muslim schools here in on Vancouver Island. So those kind of places where religion is still kind of taught as fact, right? But the only ideology that I can think of, at least, is this postmodernist third wave feminism that's going through the schools right now, where they're suggesting that, you know, all the bad things that happen to men are not nearly as bad as the few bad things that still happen to women, right? Because, like, what was it? I was talking with my daughter the other day, and we were discussing like 5 ways in which men were legally at a disadvantage, and then we flipped the script, and we were like, well, let's find 5 legal ways in which women are legally disadvantaged, and honestly, like, I couldn't think of any. Maybe it's just because I'm not experiencing it myself, but I mean, I'm talking on a legal level, right?
Where women are disadvantaged in a working field?
Absolutely. In a working field, like I understand that, you know, nursing, for instance, something like 30% of nurses are male, right? And that is a mainly female-oriented, industry, and that's fine. Right? I don't think that I should be demanding 50% males in that industry.
Well, it's
right.
It's like the conversation we had a couple days ago about how everyone wants to have everything so equal, but it's nearly impossible when it goes into a working field, because working fields are based off experience and what a person can do over whether or not they're male or female, black or white. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure. It's a matter of, how should I put this? It's a matter of, like, just putting too many resources in areas where they don't necessarily need to be. It's my opinion that women, on average, and I'm not trying to generalize here because I hate generalizing, but women, on average, when you look at the numbers, just simply aren't interested in certain career fields. You know, and you know what? There's exceptions to that rule, and absolutely there always will be. But I don't think that they're being kept out of that industry, even if it is male-dominated. In fact, it's almost impossible to do nowadays because of discrimination laws.
All right, we're gonna go back to the chat here for half a second. Are you jealous of our West Coaster, Black Lotus? I myself prefer the weather over here. Not saying your minus 30 winters are not nice. I'm just saying. And then apparently in Ontario, there's more than 30% of nursing as males.
No. You know what?
Nurses are male, not in Ontario.
Yeah, I'm not.
The way that swings.
Actually, I probably should have mentioned that was just a number that I arbitrarily pulled out of my head. It was not meant to be taken seriously. I gotta watch myself when I do that. But when I say something like and then a percentage, it means that I'm not sure is the actual number, and I apologize.
Does anybody know what the percentage difference between men and women is in?
Male and female nursing. Demographics, maybe? Demographics. Can't tell for sure. Oh yeah, I know. Like, so that's the idea there. Now, I just think that men in nursing occupations. I can't find the Government of Canada one. CBS News. They've tripled since 1970, though. There's that.
All the way up from 0.
No. Looks like 9.1%.
What? Really?
Minority. Yeah,
9.1 is what?
9.1%. Where the hell are you? You're not.
I'm elusive.
Oh, Trip is actually at
Like
my
the
house,
wind,
guys,
baby.
and he stepped outside for a cigarette, and I'm wondering how the hell he was. Then I realized he had his phone with him. Okay. Okay. So yeah, no, it's 9.1%. So I tripled that number. So, and this is how misinformation begins, guys. This is how it begins.
Fact checking is always important.
Absolutely.
Good job, EJ.
Checking. All right. So what do we got here? So for anybody who might be listening through Twitter and stuff like that, you guys can also tweet using the BTTV Live hashtag, because that is completely unpopulated, and I think I'm the first person to use that hashtag.
There was actually, I looked it up, and there's someone with a picture, and it said BTTV Live hashtag.
Oh, what? What are you talking about?
Never mind.
And I thought I was crazy.
Oh, you have no idea.
You can relax. There's always
here.
someone crazier.
Yeah, true that. Now, Asomo here, he's saying that there's a doctor that showed him more egalitarian societies. Women go for more gender-specific jobs like nursing, human resources, retail sales, and men go for the more hardworking and destruction-oriented jobs. Right? Which is, what do you do for a living, Deadpool? I forgot.
I am a train conductor. I am a forklift operator. I am a serial killer. I am.
You get
also
paid to be a serial killer?
I do that one just out of love. I am also a black belt in Kung Fu, and I train Jiu-Jitsu, and I fight.
Okay, so probably about 3 of the things you listed there are true.
And I
3?
4 of the things you listed there are true.
I want to know, which ones do you think are not true?
Well, train conductor.
Obviously.
I am a train conductor.
Really?
Not
When
shitting.
did you start doing? When did you start doing that? Sorry, actually, that's personal conversation. We'll have that another time. Yeah. Crazy.
I want to ride
Whereas
that train.
I'm a part of. You never know what might draw my interest. I'm also the chairman of a foundation which is on its way to being put off the ground, so that's kind of cool.
Okay. Oh yeah. He's walking by and it's echoing. Turn your phone off.
Oh look, I got people coming into my house. Hold on, I gotta shoot them.
Oh.
Hopefully with a camera.
Okay. I wonder. Okay, so Deadpool's wife came home. Wife and kid are there. Anyways. Okay, so yeah, no.
Did you see the? Did you see the other part he posted about how there's a stat that says that 86%?
Oh yeah. Well, for sure. Actually, you know what? One of the things I find really funny about this is I've noticed a lot of these extreme third wave feminists are very much not interested in having children. Right? And then, again, that's another generalization. I don't want to say that's going to be true of all of them. But if that is the case, then that means that this whole ideology stands a much better chance of just dying out. Realistically, in the next generation. Right? If they're not having children, it's hard to, like the only thing you can do this is treat this more as a cult by getting other people's children.
How did you become a computer tech, Black Lotus? If you didn't choose the job, did it just kind of fall into your lap?
You don't choose to become a computer technician. The computer chooses you.
That's right. Lady Deadpool. Did Lady Deadpool come home?
Lady Deadpool and her minion of doom have just recently come home and are now training in my dojo.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. All right, so
we're in lots.
what's that?
I said we're almost like it's just like we've almost run out of ideas. I mean, we got lots to talk about, but it's just
no, it's not. It's not that we've run out of ideas. It's that my brain is fried right now. I've been getting some weird sleeping patterns going on, and as a result of my work, so that's fine.
I don't think that feminism is ever going to die, as they say. There's always going to be women who are talking about and very interested in the rights of their own gender. It's an idea. It's an ideal. Beneath the people, there's only it's mere flesh. But
I'm talking specifically about that third wave radical hatred of men kind of feminism.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
What about games, says Black Lotus?
I do make a distinction. I have to make that distinction because I know some good people who are feminists. Right? So, and you know, they've never tried to repeat this type of ideology, and it's like, okay, all right. So it's very specific type, in my opinion.
Well, there's the feminists who only want male to be what, 10% of the entire race.
I was reading that article. Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I'm pretty much done with the feminist aspect of this conversation.
Yeah.
You know,
before it turns into a misogynistic conversation.
Yeah, you know, because honestly, we're just discussing the things. I don't feel that they're like all that important in what GamerGate is actually about. At least on for the first wave of this, because once the demands for ethics are met, right, it's going to solidify GamerGate into what it is, right? Some of these people will go on and probably start another hashtag that's going to focus on the feminist aspect, or not even so much the feminist, but the postmodernist ideology kind of aspect of this, right?
Stubborn.
And actually, Black Lotus, Black Lotus is absolutely right in the chat. So let's actually get. He's right though. Okay. John.
Yes.
You have been playing the World of Warcraft, this new World of Warcraft stuff, right?
Yes. I think so. Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, it's just, I mean, I've been playing WoW since Brooding Crusade, so as the game got progressively, more progressive, it just became stupidly easy. And then with this new patch, everyone's no health, basically, and DPS is shit, and healing is terrible, so it made the game more challenging. It was just like, finally, something that I could actually focus on, instead of being all like, oh, I'm healing? I guess I'm healing. I should heal.
My favorite thing to do as a healer in that game is to go and make myself a chimichanga, sit down, have a bite, and then come back and click on number 1 again, and then go off and get myself a drink of milk, and then come back and then click on number 1 again.
It's exactly what it was. It was like I could watch an entire movie and keep one heal on someone and no one would die, but now if someone pulls too much, they're dead before I can do anything.
Yeah, they've made it hard again, which is kind of like vanilla was, which was awesome.
Well, even Brooding Crusade was hard.
Brooding Crusade was, that was pretty much the same thing. Vanilla was more difficult, though, like 40-man raids and shit. Like, this before your time, don't worry about it. Okay,
yeah, well, even, like, I remember when Lich King came out, and that game was hard, and then it progressively got easier.
I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to pop away for a second here.
Okay, have fun in your little pop away. But yeah, and then Cataclysm came up, and then the game was just, that was it. It just became easy, and then Pandaland came out, and that was like, okay, this has gone too far.
After Pandaland, I quit that fucking shit. I am the Kung Fu Panda. I don't want to play the Kung Fu Panda. Okay.
Have you guys played Alien Isolation yet?
No, but I heard it's pretty good.
It's
I
like,
heard it's pretty short.
I wouldn't say short per se. I mean, the game is exceedingly challenging, so I mean, if you can figure out the puzzles really quick, then you can see it being short.
So, if you're smart, it's easy, and if you're dumb, it's hard? Kind of sounds like life, doesn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
I could see why you have difficulty. My hat's off to you for your trying.
I've tried. I've given up. No, I'm kidding. I haven't played it for a bit because I'm thinking of doing a stream of it, so I don't really want to get too far into it.
Oh no! What's Deadpool doing?
What else? I know there's a couple other games that have come out that have piqued my interest. I just honestly.
The game I'm playing right now is Elder Scrolls Online, and I really like that one. It's an absolutely beautiful game. The artwork and everything that goes into it, and the combat's really cool. I like the combat of it. You actually have to be focused, like facing towards your target, and your right click is block with the shield, and your left click is swing with the sword or cast with your spells, whatever. It's really neat how they've done that. I really like that part. Instead of just like click on somebody and then you're a mile away facing the other direction and like spamming heals. It's bullshit.
Yes, we have seen that. We have mentioned it before in our other channel, Vox Virtualis. We are going to try to look into doing a beta stream of it, just to see how it goes. The game itself looks incredibly amazing and complex. Me and EJ are pretty stoked about it. That's Kingdom Come Deliverance for those who haven't seen the chat.
I have not played that game. I haven't even seen anything coming out about it. What is it? Another MMO?
No, it's an RPG.
Okay. Is it single player?
I think so. It's like the same kind of combat in that Skyrim has style, but it's much bigger. EJ would know more about it once he gets back.
Yeah, that's okay.
I've been trying to go back and play all the Assassin's Creeds again because I got bored. And I was just like, I'm not saying that Black Flag wasn't good. It was really, really good, and I really liked it, but I just never really had a chance to play the original sets. And I was like, man, these controls are so old.
I liked all the Assassin's Creed games. They were all pretty cool. I got to play the Black Flag one for a little bit, and it was kind of neat.
Black Flag's awesome.
I was Jack Sparrow running around on the pirate ship, but I kind of got bored after a while of fucking, I gotta sail to this place now, and sail to this place now, and let's go collect this fucking thing, and let's go collect that fucking thing. It got so repetitive. Boring.
Well, I mean, the story mode, or the storyline in it, is actually quite short. It's all the side quests that made the game long.
Games I find now have that a lot in common with one another. The main storyline is not very long, and they try to cram in all these kinds of little side quests to make things up, make things a little bit more. Oh, we got to make it longer. We got to draw it out. We got to do this and we got to do that. It's, well, why didn't you focus on the actual storyline of the game instead of these little side quests, or maybe add in side quests that actually have relevance to the story? That would be cool. That would be a neat thing. Star Wars: The Old Republic did that. Star Wars: The Old Republic did that really well. A whole bunch of their side quests all had relevance to the Star Wars universe, and that was one of the prerequisites of it. Like, you get to go find the Mask of Revan and all this kind of shit. It was a really cool game, and for that it was really good. The PvP was a little bit messed up, and that's unfortunate. So that game kind of died off because Star Wars is awesome. But you know what would be awesome to see is like a Marvel MMO that actually didn't suck balls.
They actually, Star Wars is actually well over 1 million subscribers now because it's become a free-to-play game.
Right. Yeah, but I've played the free-to-play. Like, I've canceled my subscription. I still have it on my computer. I think. I'm not sure about that one. I know
you were playing it a lot back in the day.
I was playing it a lot, and it was really cool. And then, like, we had a whole raid team and all this kind of stuff, and we were doing really good. And the storyline was awesome, and it was all Star Warsy and epic and all this kind of stuff. But all this stuff, the free-to-play version that they have is so completely chopped down. It's just ridiculous. In order to buy bag space, you have to fucking subscribe or get these super points that you can buy for real money if you don't want to subscribe.
The free-to-play was just basically it made the game a demo. It made you, get the chance to actually check the game out, and if you wanted to actually play the game, either you subscribed or you paid money. That was just how their free-to-play went.
Here's the thing. Like, I played WoW for a while back in the day. Back in 2005, I probably wasted 3 months of my life on it. I tried playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I was actually on one of their open betas before they actually released the game, and I got to try it out quite a bit there. But I came to a realization not long after that I really dislike MMOs. They're not my style game. They're not for me. Like the gameplay itself was fun, but I really didn't engage with the social aspect of it very much. Right? Well, it wasn't interesting to me.
What I have noticed in a lot of MMOs lately is there is not much of a social thing anymore. It's like you're in a guild and you might talk with some guildies, but I've been in WoW guilds that don't say anything with each other, and then they'll have like their core 10 that raid, and they'll just use everyone else to just gather money for the guild, and there's no actual conversation. So the socialness of MMOs has been dying, and a lot of people have just been playing them as single-player games. Like, I'll queue as a dungeon. And clear a dungeon.
You also got to keep in mind that a lot of those people are probably using like TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, right?
Oh yeah, no, and like the guild I'm in now has one of those, and we sit in there and we talk instead of typing.
Yeah. So for sure. So you ran into a social justice warrior guild in one of your servers, didn't you?
This is true. It was pretty funny. I have to admit, I kind of giggled at it. It was a guild. It was a it was a LGBT friendly guild, and then some guy was all like, "Don't go in this guild because they hate on white males and looking for non-hating white male guild." And it was like, really?
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it was just what you read in chat. It's nothing verified then, eh?
No, it was just like because people will go into trade chat and they'll pop up, blah 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 about their guild, and they were like blah 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 LGBT friendly, and then like 10 minutes later.
Someone thinks I hate people.
Yeah.
And I am EJ Black Lotus. That is me. That's who I am. So yeah, no. This is nothing misanthropic. It's just that when I game out, that's my escape time. I like games like Skyrim. I like games like I play a lot of Assassin's Creed, especially the most recent one. And I like to be able to like zone right into the game and shut out the world. I use gaming as an escape to get away from the frustrations of life. And I find that with MMOs, there's a lot of drama.
You have no idea how many Barons chat wars I've gotten into with people. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you remember Baron Chat being the what the heck is his name? Chuck Norris Chat?
Oh yeah, that was when I was gaming. That's when I was playing. There's a lot of Chuck Norris stuff going on there. But yeah, and I tried Cataclysm, and it was cool that like, oh yeah, everything's all different now. But at the same time, it was like, okay, well, there's better quest lines, there's better this, but it's still that whole social aspect. So like, I'll play Skyrim for 1,000 fucking hours, just like Black Lotus, and go and do everything on the side, all that kind of stuff. But I've always been an achievement hunter. I like hunting for achievements, trophies.
You might like Elder Scrolls then, EJ, because that game is awesome. You don't have to talk to anybody or do anything with anybody if you don't want to, pretty much. There are some group bosses and stuff like that, and there are group dungeons, but there are a lot of solo dungeons that you can just farm over and over if you want. But there's all these different things you can do. Right now I'm collecting a book. I've got to go around and collect all these books. That's one of the little achievements you do in order to gain reputation with the Mages Guild.
Yeah. That's kind of cool, and I like the fact that Elder Scrolls is so much about their lore, right? Like, I think John can agree with me on this about the lore. It's fucking, even with like the Fallout games have a lot of lore to it, and I love that aspect. You find out background information.
That was the one thing I did like about WoW. Like, again, I don't really talk to people except for people in the guild, but there's so much lore in the game. There's so many little quests that just you sit down and and a lot of the areas actually connect now, and it makes sense, and it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I can get that. Like I just think that for me at least, I much rather the console games. Like I own 160 something games on Steam. Like I got a packed Steam account, but my computer, basically the most recent game that my computer's been able to run successfully is Tomb Raider, the most recent Tomb Raider, and it's very, very slow.
I would think a slow motion Tomb Raider game would be beneficial.
Slow in reaction time, slow as in it goes down to like 4 frames a second in some points.
Yeah, but,
you know,
those 4 frames are so sweet, though.
Yeah, but they jump around.
Awesome!
Especially because they've changed her breast shape. She's no longer pyramid-ish and very circular.
She's no longer Pamela Anderson. She's more of a round.
Okay, dude, you live not far away from Pamela Anderson. Have you seen her recently?
No.
Oh my god, man. She looks like a little old lady with plastic in her face.
Really?
Oh my
Where did
god,
you see
dude.
Pamela Anderson at as of recent? Was she at Light Up or something?
No, she's living in Ladysmith again, man.
Really?
She and her son moved up there a while back now, and if anybody knows that town, it's so small. There's 8,000 people in it, so it's kind of hard not to run into your local celebrity, right?
I think
there
I
was
visit and get me some hepatitis.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what it is. She's looking really bad. You know, she put her body through too much in her youth, and now it's like catching up with her hardcore.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys for a second. Has anyone played Days? I haven't played it yet.
Daisy?
Black Lotus. No,
Days.
Daisy. Or Daisy. It's whatever.
Okay, Daisy. Yeah, the zombie MMO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that it's full of hackers, so I never really bother. I have it. I can play it if I want, but I think it's full of hackers because it's based on Arma 2 or something like that, right?
I honestly don't know Daisy. My brother plays it or played it. Somebody I know played it, and there's like, you can die so easily in the game that it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. The way I understood it is that there was issues with hackers. They made a standalone called it's like Infestation Survivor Stories now, because it was called The War Z before, and that was even worse with hackers. Right. So
I think
I don't know.
The best game that has dealt with hackers, I'm honestly gonna give it to whatever that one game is called. I honestly forgot it now. The RPG or the first-person shooter that just recently came out with robots. It was like very Call of Duty-like. Trying to look it up here.
Is that the one where you jump around and run off the walls, and it's called Titanfall?
That's it, Titanfall.
Okay.
Apparently, if you hack in that game and you're reported, they don't kick you out of the game. They just move you into servers where it's other hackers. You just play with hackers.
That's a good
idea.
That is a great way to deal with them because they can't. Then they're going to get frustrated out hacking each other, right? That's good.
Or they'll have a lot of fun with each other doing it. Who knows? You might group up with a bunch of people who just love to hack the fucking game and fuck around and do a bunch of cool shit. We did that in. It was a Star Wars game that I used to play on the Xbox. It wasn't necessarily hacks. But there were all these different glitches that you would do, and people would kick you out of their game or whatever. Yeah, exploits, exactly. Yeah. I would hide in the wall, and then I would force choke the motherfucker through the wall, and he's wondering, I can't spin it around, I can't do anything. Oh my god!
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. There's nothing quite like frying somebody with lightning through an invisible wall while he's trying to swing his lightsaber at you and missing because you're behind a wall.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
There's nothing I love more than an unfair fight.
Was that the what the hell?
So the guy that actually goes to tournaments.
Oh, this game's frustrating the crap out of me.
Oh, you're back. Hello again.
No, I've been listening. I'm son of a bitch.
Was it Battlefront?
Somebody get you?
What was that?
No, dude, he's playing Destiny.
No, I'm talking to Deadpool. Was it Star Wars Battlefront that you were thinking of?
No, it was Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Battlefront was pretty cool too, but Jedi Academy was definitely the best Star Wars game I've played.
See, I haven't yet to play Destiny. Actually, Ro did invite me over at one point, and I ended up not going, I think, because I was just feeling rough that particular weekend.
What? For what?
And because you invited me over to play Destiny that one day, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't make it because I was feeling all rough. But yeah, I still have yet to actually see it in action. And I've heard a lot, but here's the thing: I've heard a lot of mixed stuff. I think it's just that it was hyped up to everybody, but only a certain type of gamer really did fucking love it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I like it. It's too bad.
Oh yeah, and that's fine. You're allowed to like it. Whereas I'm like,
oh damn it! I just died again.
Oh, by the way, I think I have a couple of your games here, bro.
Oh yeah, you're.
Yeah. Our mutual friend.
You probably passed a couple to you, eh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. You guys.
Did you grab South Park?
Yeah, I got the Stick of Truth here. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're not the only one.
Which I haven't played yet. Which I haven't played yet, but I just have to say that I'm not the biggest South Park fan. I'll watch episodes. I think they're clever. I think they're funny, but to me, it's like I have to be in a certain mood to watch South Park.
And that certain mood
However,
is intoxicated.
No, not necessarily. I just need to have it. I want to turn my brain off and not have anything else worthy of, brain mushing.
Right.
But I watched last week's episode with the Cartman going all transgender. That was pretty good. It was disappointing. Yeah, to use the bathroom. It was disappointing at the same time, though, because I've seen really funnier episodes, and I think that they could have made that much more funny than they did.
It was... I don't really... I wouldn't say it wasn't funny. It had its humorous points, but I think they just went a little too... Like, it went a little too far.
Well, it didn't go far enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they could. I think they could have pushed that over the top, but I think they were trying to be careful, because
I don't think they're being careful with the Nazi zombie.
I'm gonna have to agree with Kyle on this one.
Remember there's an abortion game in it, man. It was pretty fucked up.
Sorry.
There's an abortion game out there?
No, it was part of in the South Park game.
Yeah, Stick of Truth is you fight Nazi zombies and shit like that. But yeah, like I've seen. Here's the thing. Like, look at how South Park treated Scientology, man. They didn't pull any punches in that. Right?
Oh, they told the full story of Scientology at the end of the episode. That was awesome.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly the point, right? But in this, it was just like more making fun of like, oh, they want to use the bathroom and stuff like that. And I've always liked those South Park episodes where like Stan or Kyle always has a monologue at the end of the episode where he talks about what he learned, And I always thought I always thought that was one of the best parts of South Park, is when you realize that like all these fucking horrible jokes that they're making have a point to them,
Just gonna break in here for a second. Fall sales come before winter sales. So if you are gonna pick up games on Steam, you can pick them up before the winter, before the big winter sale comes on.
Oh yeah, the Steam winter sale. Oh yeah, for sure. Those sales are amazing.
Goodbye, my money.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to, right? But you're getting like $60 games for $5 in some days. It's ridiculous.
I've definitely gone in and spent like $300 on games, and it turned out to be like $600 worth of games. So it's
Yeah. Well, like most of us here are PC gamers, I think, and then you got me and Ro here who are console gamers, and then you got
PC game too, man.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've got like a giant rig here.
I did tools as well.
You've seen my giant laptop, my mobile desktop.
I've seen your giant laptop, but you barely pull that out because you're usually sketching.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right.
Well, the thing is, it weighs like 25 pounds with the power bar.
Oh yeah.
Things are heavy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, makes sense. You can take that. You can lift 25 pounds, man. Come on now.
Oh my god.
You can just go get Deadpool. He'll lift it for you.
There's nothing in the world I can't lift.
Yeah, and then run away with.
Except for Thor's hammer. I don't think Deadpool could lift Thor's hammer.
Isomo is calling us console peasants. You know?
Let me tell you something about Thor. Thor is actually a homosexual. Not many people know this, and most people are completely unaware of this, but Thor is actually a raging homosexual. Thor has a Filipino boyfriend, and one day Thor was off and he was just finished. He's just ramming the shit out of his Filipino boyfriend, absolutely destroying him. And then he gets up and he goes, "Ah, I am Thor!" And then his Filipino boyfriend goes, "You think you're Thor? I can barely walk, you big brute."
Oh God, that was a little.
How did I know that was coming down to a joke? I was waiting for the punchline. I was waiting for the punchline. Oh, man.
They know I'm Filipino, right?
I definitely know you're Filipino.
Yeah.
Actually, he actually
throwing that out there.
He actually is Filipino.
Brown as fuck, just saying.
So, are you Thor?
Thor as fuck.
Thor is fuck.
You thought Thor was good. How would you like a little DP?
All right, guys. That's enough.
We're gonna.
Okay. Yeah, no. If you're looking for a date, you can do it off channel.
And you look good in a dress, not gonna lie.
Oh my God.
Who's that?
I never have to go far for a date with those. And if she says no, then I just show her these.
I've completely lost control of the conversation.
Hey, EJ, I gotta pop off the chat.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta head out.
Alright, buddy.
Alright, take care, eh?
Kill you later.
Peace out.
Don't worry, guys. Those guns are fake. They're not real.
Nothing fake about these guns.
Have you guys read the new Thor comic? Seeing how we were talking about Thor with Farah, his mother, All-Mother becomes Thor at the end of it.
Or what? Hold on. Say that. Are you talking about the female Thor thing?
Yes, the female Thor thing. Marvel.
See, okay. I have no problems with Marvel coming up with strong female characters that are fucking totally like feminist dreams. You know what I mean? That does not bother me. What I have a problem with is rewriting already existing characters. That's why this new Ghostbusters reboot is kind of pissing me off. They're rebooting Ghostbusters with an all-female staff or cast, which would have been fine in a sequel. I wouldn't have had any problem with that if it was a sequel, but they're using it to rewrite the original Ghostbusters. I mean, come on, man. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, the other guy who's dead, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, but Sigourney Weaver, like she was. Oh wait, she was the girlfriend of one of the characters. That's what she was.
She was the one that got possessed.
Who played Janine? Yeah, who played Janine?
I don't know, man.
Oh, well, anyways, yeah, but I was a big fan of the original Ghostbusters, and that to me, like, I would have loved them to continue the story rather than to rewrite it from scratch. I mean, like, no, come on now. You've got an already presented universe here. Just build upon it. Look at how well that's working for all the Marvel movies. You know, they got all these Marvel movies coming out, which I think Spider-Man just got picked up under the Marvel universe as well.
Yes, I believe Sony has just sold all their rights back to Marvel. I think it's after 5 more movies, Marvel will have complete rights. I think that's what it is.
Sorry, Deadpool was trying to say something.
I said, fuck that web-footed freak. I want to know when we see a little DP. 2016, I think.
Yeah, 2016. From what I hear, they're making a Deadpool film.
The cool thing I like about the Deadpool film is I believe Deadpool will be CG'd. He won't be he'll be a person, but he'll be like how they did the TMNT, and then he'll have no script. There'll be actual no written script.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that'll be
all right. Well, okay, guys. I think we're going to start winding down here because we've been on for an hour now. and honestly, we're running out of shit to talk about here.
Well, there is a lot to talk about.
There are a billion things to talk about.
Yeah, but I think we've had an hour. We can pick this up again next time with a little bit more structure. I think what happened there is
we started.
The fuck are you doing?
It started structured and then it just broke off.
Yeah, well, you got freaking Deadpool trying to fillet his microphone. Sorry, that was just
Wasn't good for you?
That was distracting me, buddy. Wait, hey, when's the next time you're going down?
It's Nathan, the guy we were thinking of.
Nathan Fillion?
Yeah.
What guy?
In the Ghostbusters, the one you couldn't think of.
That's not Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion's the guy from Firefly, for Christ's sake. No.
No, wait, yes, sorry, my bad.
Nathan Fillion played like Captain Hammer in Dr. Horrible's sing-along vlog. That's who Nathan Fillion is. He's in Castle, in that show Castle.
Wasn't there an episode where he dressed up as the captain?
The captain for Firefly, yeah, it was an inside joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, all right, guys, we should cut this off, and thanks for those guys of you who tuned in. I know it was like crazily random there, because we're still pretty fucking new at the whole live stream game. But you know what? We have a lot of fun when we do it, so we're probably going to keep it up. Anyways, so take it easy. My name is EJ Spurl with Black Trident TV. We've got Trident Wyatt. Lord Boaz is still being sat on by Deadpool here.
I've got that four-footed bitch sitting down here, tied up. You wouldn't believe the kind of agony he's in. If you don't subscribe to his channel, I'll kill him.
Absolutely, yeah. You should probably hop over to Lord Boaz's channel. You can check out my main channel, and he should be listed there, or you can just search Lord Boaz, B-O-A-Z, on YouTube. Give him a sub, as I know he appreciate it. He's got some funny videos. I do know that for a fact. And he makes some good points.
All right, guys.
And if Trip wants to say goodbye, I know he's been muted the whole time, so I don't know. You want to say something there, Trip?
Yeah, all right, guys. Been great having me. No, I didn't really participate too much. Cool to hear your conversation, though.
That was.
I know that was weird because he failed to realize that. For those of you who don't know, Tip is probably about 3 feet away from me right now, and he forgot that my microphone could pick him up, and he could have just spoken.
Oh, right. I could have just done that.
All right. So yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we'll definitely be working on delivering some content soon. We do have a new episode of Trigger Warning coming out. We have filmed quite a bit of it so far, but we are in the process of just taking care. It's going to be a little bit different from the previous ones, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. As our other channel, Vox Virtualis, is got something like 17 subscribers, so if you're into games, if you're into nerd culture, go over to Vox Virtualis, give us a sub over there. It is very audio based, so we'll see how that goes. And again, yeah, Lord Boaz's channel, if you're into atheism, if you're into a lot of cultural, societal issues, he does talk a lot about that kind of stuff, so go check out his channel. And other than that, we will see you next time. So say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Wait, how many people do I have to say goodbye to? Because there's Frank, there's Jeff, there's Steve.